TV shows, we're going to connect it to TV shows. Sports, we're going to connect it to sports. We're going to do the same thing for all of them. So all is going to get connected to all. Movies stays. And then we're going to go in and actually change the images. So I believe the next one is this. Let's see, what's the next one? I believe it's this one. And then that. Welcome back to another design practice. Today I'm going to be recreating a few screens from the Amazon Prime Video app. And yeah, let's just go ahead and jump in. I have Figma open already. And as you see, I have my screenshots that I imported from mobbin.com. And then to save time again, I also have a frame filled with all the icons we're going to be using, as well as all the photos that I have right here, and I just made them all components for it to be easier. And then I have a little frame right here where I will put the components that we're going to make. So let's go ahead and start. We're going to get a iPhone 14 Plus frame, and then change or add the background color that I just used the picker tool to get. It should be saved right here in my style library. Yeah, the first part that we're gonna do is this header part that includes the status bar as well as the logo and a few buttons. So that's what I'm gonna start with. I'm gonna copy the status bar icons that I got from Figma's curated library for iOS 18. I'm gonna add that there. For the text, I couldn't find the one that Amazon uses. It's not on the Figma library, so I just went with an alternative. We're gonna be using WorkSense today. It's not a perfect match, but it'll do for the purpose of today's video. I'm gonna make that an auto layout. And I'm just gonna place it on top to see if it looks similar. Change that, make it a little bit bigger. There we go. Okay. And then I'm just gonna click that and then click the status bar icons, holding the shift button, and then add an auto layout. And then we're just gonna adjust the padding. We're gonna make that a component. I'm gonna move it to the components container. And then I'm just gonna hold Option drag to make a copy and then add that to our frame. Next is gonna be this section right here that has the logo and then a few buttons. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab those. We're gonna make these two an auto layout and then click this one as well and make it one big auto layout. And change it to hug and then add some padding. Okay. Then then I'm just going to change this name. And we'll move that right over here. Okay. Now, the next section is going to be this little menu up, this horizontal menu up here. I'm just going to call it like page content menu, but we're going to go ahead and do that. The first thing I'm going to do is replicate this all button right here. So let's go ahead and do that. And then I'll make this an auto layout, and then add a fill color, and then adjust the padding. And then we'll round out the corners. Just like that. Move this right here. This is going to be our selected button, so I'll just put selected for now. And then we'll rename this page content button and create a component. Add a variant, just like this. I'm going to make a frame over here so that it's a bit easier to see this process. Okay. Now, I'm going to go to this first button. We're going to change it from property 1 to the state. And this is just going to stay as default, but I'm going to go ahead and change it to look like the selected button. So the letters are going to be white, and then there's no background. So as you can see, it'll represent these buttons right here. And then let's change the name of this from variant 2 to selected. And then I'm going to double click to select the text, and then I'll hold shift while I click the other button. And then we're going to add a text property. So it'll be text, and then I'll just change the value to button, create the property, and then last we're going to go into prototype. I'm going to click this and connect it to here, and it will change to the selected button on tap. Perfect. So now that we got that, we're going to move it to the containers section. Oh, hold on. And we'll move on to the second part, which is actually making this menu. Let me just go back over here and do a copy of that. Bring it right over here. Perfect. Now I am going to make 4 duplicates or 3 duplicates to represent each button. And we're going to click all of them and add an auto layout. Then we're going to add the text in. Movies, TV shows, sports. And I'm going to change the all to the selected state. I'm going to bring it down here just to make sure that I got the spacing correct. Okay, move this back up here. And we're gonna call this page content menu. And I'm gonna make it a component, and then we're gonna add 3 variants. I'm gonna go through for each variant. I'm gonna change it to change the selected button. So we're gonna, for this one, we're gonna change it to movies being selected. This one we're gonna do TV shows. And then the last one we're gonna do sports. I'm gonna go in and change the name. So instead of property 1, it's gonna be type of content. This is gonna be for the all page. This one is gonna be for movies page. This one is gonna be for TV shows. And then this one's sports. Perfect. Lastly, we're gonna go to prototype and we're gonna make sure to connect everything. So we'll start with this first variable up here. So we're gonna, the all, you don't have to connect it to anything. We're gonna click the menus button and add it to the menus the movies button and add to the movies variant. TV shows, we're gonna connect it to TV shows. Sports, we're gonna connect it to sports. We're gonna do the same thing for all of them. So all is going to get connected to all. Movies stays. TV shows connect to this one. Sports connect to that one. And you're just going to repeat that. Looks real messy, I know. Okay. Now that variant or that component should be all set. We're gonna move it down to our components container. I'm gonna copy an instance of our component, add it onto here. And we are just gonna double check that it works properly. So let's go to the prototype view. Okay, something's wrong. I don't think it's added onto here. I see it's not even under this frame, so let's add it onto this frame. So now you can see it's actually on here. And let's try that again. There we go. So we should be able to click each one. Yep, it looks like it's working perfectly. And then in the end, we'll go and connect them to the different pages we do. Okay. So before we actually get to the content in the middle, I'm gonna go ahead and make this navigation bar, since it's a similar process to making this, but a little bit easier. So I'm gonna go grab the home icon and make a button. Right over here, and then add the text. And make it an auto layout, remove the padding. Okay. This might be a little smaller, let's go back to 13. We're gonna click that as well as the icon, make an auto layout. I'm gonna change the fill color to white for now, because this is gonna be our selected button. This is called nav bar item. We're gonna make it a component and then add a variant. Move this up a bit right over here. Okay, so we're gonna change it to state. This is gonna be default. This is gonna be selected. Let's go ahead and change this. And then we're gonna add a text property. And an instant swap property right over here. We're gonna add our preferred value. So it's gonna be these 4 items. Create property. This one will have the same thing. I should have named it something else. And then yeah, let's add a text property to this. Perfect. Now that that's done, we can move this to our components container and then copy an instance of it over here. I'm gonna duplicate it, and then we'll add an auto layout. I'm gonna change this one to the selected state. This one, oh, hold on. And then we're gonna change the buttons to match what it's supposed to be. So let's go ahead and do that. I'll move this down to make it a bit easier. something's wrong with this icon. I'll come back and fix it. I shouldn't have like a fill over here. Same with this one. There we go. Okay. Alright, and then we're gonna fill the background. I believe this is a black color, so I'm just gonna go like that. And then add some padding. Gonna make that a component and then add it to our frame right here so that we can come back later and use it. But yeah, now we have the header, the page content menu, as well as the nav bar done. And the next part is going to be these inside contents. So, okay. So let's start on the content in the middle. So the first thing I'm going to do is this header picture right here. I'm going to go grab a copy of that picture, bring it right over here. Okay. As you can see, this has some dark gradient on here to make the text pop a bit more. So I'm going to double click on our photo, go to this fill section and change this to 100. And then we're going to change this to a linear gradient. I'm just going to move it this way. It looks like it is brighter towards her face, so that's where I'm going to put the other half or the other end of the gradient. And we're just going to do our best to make it look as similar as possible. Okay, that looks good. Now we're gonna just do the text that's in the middle right here. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so the next part I'm going to be doing is this section right here for the featured previews. Just so we can do these together and then move on to these horizontal scroll menus. So I'm going to grab that photo. Right here. And then I'm going to double click the photo and just make it a bit darker. That's good enough. We're going to do the text, so it's going to be this text right here with this icon, as well as these buttons right here to add to your watch list, and then details. This is the section where they play trailers and stuff. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Okay, now we're going to move on to making these menus right here. We're going to start with the first one, and then we'll be able to make it a component and copy it for the rest of the pages. So first thing I'm going to do is grab this picture, make a copy of that, bring it over here. And all I did was take the picture and then add a text down here to get that new series element on there, but not all of them had it, so I just only did it to this one. I'm going to duplicate that. So we're actually going to do a horizontal scroll for this first one, so I'm going to duplicate it 3 times. Or 4 times actually, and then make all this a auto layout. Let me make sure the spacing is right. So, and then this part is really important. I kept messing up with this. We're going to make this frame the size of the phone screen like that. And then we're gonna go in and actually change the images. So I believe the next one is this. Let's see, what's the next one? I believe it's this one. And then that. So once we've done that, then we're gonna click that again and do clip content. Now I'm going to move this into this page right over here. Like so. Let's make this header right here. I'm going to change the color of this to blue. And then we're going to grab that arrow. Add an auto layout. And let me just make sure. Okay. So what we're going to do is make a component. So we'll be able to change the text color and then also add a Boolean property to be able to hide this arrow when we don't need it. So let's move this over here. And then let's do auto layout of that. I'm gonna make this a component. We're gonna call it horizontal menu. I'm gonna double click that and go to prototype, and we're gonna do horizontal. Now let's check to make sure it works. Okay. Okay, let's see. Okay, it's working. So there you have a horizontal scroll menu. And yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do the rest. Let's go back. Let's exit out of here. Actually, this is the actual component, so let me make a copy to actually have here. And move this to my components little menu over here, or components frame. Okay, bring this back down. Okay, let's move on to this section. I'm going to make a whole new component separate from this one, and we're not actually going to make it scrollable just because we already did it for the first one. This one is just going to show these two pics since we have so much, but let's go ahead and make a whole separate component for that. First thing I'm going to do is grab that image. So we're going to come right here, copy that. And then the next thing we're going to do is this section right here that has the shopping icon and then has a text that says either rent, buy, free trial. So let's grab that icon. we go. We're gonna move it right over here. Then we're gonna get this text. Make this an auto layout. Then we're gonna grab both, add an auto layout. Wait, hold on, something's wrong. There we go. I'm just gonna make this longer. Make sure this was right here. Make it longer. Like so. Okay, and now we're going to select both of these sections as well as the pic, do an auto layout. Then I'm going to duplicate that over here. Grab both. Come on. Frame. That frame and then this frame. Add an auto layout. Okay. I'm going to clip this over here to fit the frame. And then we're gonna do clip content. And then I'm gonna do this header up here. Auto layout. Okay. So now we're gonna click that. Click. Come on, where is it at? This frame as well as this frame. Hold on. There we go. We click both of those and made an auto layout. Okay. Now that we have that set, we can go ahead and make this a component. We'll call this categories. Content. Move it right over here. And before I make a copy, I forgot we're supposed to do the little instance properties. But before I do that, hold on. I need to get this arrow and add it, because as you can see, some of them don't have arrows, but the other ones do. So we're going to add that to it and be able to hide it for using the Boolean property. So I'm gonna add that right over here, change the color to yellow. Now we can start. So we're gonna add a text property over here. This will be label. And then we're gonna click on the icon, go to the layer section, add a Boolean property. Then we're gonna add an instant swap property. This is gonna be pick one. Same thing with this one. It's gonna be pick two. Add a text property again. I think we need to do it for this one too, I'm not sure, but I'm gonna do it either way. Okay. Whew. Now let's copy it. Okay. So let's do this first one. We're going to, actually, let's click on that. We're gonna hide the arrow icon. I'm gonna leave that title the same. The first pick is gonna be Spider-Man, second pick is gonna be the Equalizer. And then the text is gonna be or by one or by. So yeah, we can just leave that like this. So now that we know that it works, I'm going to make all the categories that we need. Okay, before I go through and align anything, I'm just gonna go ahead and make 3 copies. Because we're gonna do each page. We're gonna do the all page. Let me show you the screenshots. We're gonna do the all page, the movies page, the TV show page, and the sports page, and they're shorter than the first one, so this shouldn't take too long. So we're almost done. The last part is just to go back into the prototype section and connect all the pages, but we got our 4 pages. I aligned them, added the navigation bar, and they look really good. So let's just do the finishing touches. I'm gonna click each one of these page and then go to prototype and make it vertical. And then we're gonna click each of these navigation bars and do fixed, stay in place, and then same with, hold on, the status bars. Let's do that. I'm gonna do fix, stay in place. And then the last thing is to connect these buttons to the appropriate page. So how we're gonna do it is I'm gonna click on menus, not menus, movies, and connect that to the movies page. We're gonna do TV shows, connect that to the TV shows page. We're gonna do sports, connect that to the sports page. Yep. And then we're just gonna do the same thing for each of our different pages. All right, that should be good. Okay, I think it looks good and I'm excited. So I am ready to go ahead and see it in the prototype view. So let's go ahead and do that and cross our fingers that it looks right.